G'day guys, welcome to another What's for Dinner episode. So this week we had a bit of a disaster with one of our meals, but we ended on a really high note. We had some delicious pizzas. Alrighty, let's get into it. Our first meal of the week was this Penang vegetarian curry, which was delicious. So first off, Dave had chopped up the onions, sweet potato, carrots, red and green capsicum, green beans, some button mushrooms and baby broccoli. Then he used about half the jar of the Penang curry paste and popped it into a wok and then heated it up until it was a beautiful aroma before adding in this light coconut milk. This is where I came and tasted it to make sure it was alright, make sure it wasn't spicy, but that it had enough flavour, and this wasn't spicy at all. It was really, really nice. Then heated that up until the coconut milk was nice and warm before adding in the sweet potato. Because the sweet potato takes a bit longer to cook, it was in first. He cooked that for a few minutes before adding in the rest of the vegetables. How beautiful and bright and colourful does that look? He mixed that all through together for a couple of minutes until we got the flavour that we wanted. We like a bit of crunch with our veggies. And then to serve, he put some coriander on the top as well as bean shoots, which made it nice and crunchy as well. This was so delicious. Dave and I both went back for seconds. After a super healthy first meal, we're now having Angus Aussie beef pies, which isn't healthy at all. And yep, I'm one of those people that likes to do the first initial in sauce. Alrighty, this meal was a disaster. So the salmon cost $18. David chopped up the pumpkin, carrot and beans and we're ready to go. It looked really, really good. He'd only just bought the salmon from the fishmonger the day before. He cut it up into nice thin pieces and then he cooked it over in the pan while boiling all the vegetables behind. We took one bite of the salmon and we're like, that's off. That's not right at all. It smelt okay, but it wasn't. The taste was disgusting. Dave phoned up the fish shop man. He's been going to him for years and said, what's going on? It's off, mate. And the guy said he'd been having problems with his supplier, who he buys 200,000 worth of fish each year, and he'd had a couple of problems and to come back in and get a new lot of salmon. So Dave went off and did that, and I grabbed some penne from the freezer and some dim sims, and we had that for tea. When editing this and having a look at the salmon, it doesn't actually look as pink as what it should. Anyway, I went to bed that night wondering if I was going to be up with food poisoning, but thank God none of us got sick from the salmon. The new salmon we got, we ate for lunch the next day. It smelled super fresh and it was absolutely delicious, but we just wanted to eat it as soon as we could. The next meal we're having in the pie maker. So the pie maker's cold, it's not plugged in. I put the bread on first and push it into the pie holes and then crack an egg on the top of each one. And tonight we're trying tomato with it as well. So tomato at the back and bacon as well. When I just do eggs with a runny yolk, it goes on for 4 minutes, but because I'm doing the toast as well, I'm going to be putting it on for 6 minutes. So this is great for one person because one person's meal gets done first. But if you're doing a lot of people, then the last person doesn't eat until 12 minutes after the first person, which didn't bother me, but something to consider. After 6 minutes, the eggs are nice and runny, so I just open it up and using a spatula to scoop out the bread because it's super hot, but I really love this bread. It's so nice and crunchy. It's more of a crunch than what you get in the toaster, but it's not burnt. This was the first time I'd done the tomatoes in there and they were really good too. They weren't piping hot. Next time I put some seasoning on as they were cooking. And the bacon was cooked how I like. A little bit crunchy on the ends, but not in the middle. And then I repeated the same for my 2-year-old daughter and then for me. Let me know in the comments, have you got into the Kmart Pie Maker craze like I have? For dinner tonight, we're having fish, lettuce, tomato and carrot. There's not much carrot on my plate or our daughter's because I like to eat it while we're prepping dinner, and more is caught than taught. Our last meal of the week is a pizza. So Dave found a recipe online and he's modified it. So 1.5 cups of self-raising flour and half a cup of water. In the original recipe, which he found months and months ago, it had salt as well. We don't bother doing salt. And then a tablespoon of oil. So he mixes that all together with a fork, and then he puts it on the bench and continues to knead it. And of course, he's got his little helper as well.
Scene that keeps playing on repeat, ignores the rule of thumb. Oh, where does it come from? Oh, where does it come from? All your emotions.
Here it was a little bit dry when he was kneading it, so he just added in a splash more water. Then he split it up into 3 balls for 3 pizzas. Then they both rolled it out as thin as can be. This is a great activity to do with your toddler. They love rolling. My daughter does anyway, so it's a lot of fun to do together. Alrighty, so Dave sets out all his toppings around the stove. So we've got ham, mushrooms, red capsicum, green capsicum, onion, pineapple, little pineapple pieces. Someone's enjoying some pineapple, pepperoni, mozzarella cheese, and baby spinach. Then, cooking on medium heat, puts the pasta base into a frying pan and then adds on some pasta sauce he's using here. We didn't have tomato paste, so he's just using some pasta sauce, covering the bottom of that, then grating at the time some Parmesan cheese before adding on all the different toppings. So I'll show you what the toppings are just so you've got some ideas, and then I'll let you know which is the best at the end. He cooks it on the stove until the base is brown before putting it in the oven until the cheese has melted and it's a nice golden colour. There's no set time or anything like that, just goes by how it's cooking on the day.
Like a cool drop of rain coming down from a clear sky. Yeah. Like a honeybee taking off that really shouldn't fly. Yeah. Like a snowflake falling down on a summer day. It's just amazing. It's 1,000,000 to 1, 1,000,000 to 1. It really couldn't be. You're my kind of one of a kind. I'm gonna get out there and say it, 'cause there ain't gonna be one more like you, no. Ain't gonna be one more like you, no. Ain't gonna be. I could search high and low, but I know that there ain't gonna be one more like you, no. You're my kind of one of a kind. Like a black swan swimming about in a sea of white. Yeah. Like a bouncer Saturday night acting really nice. That can't be right. Like the most beautiful girl in the world hitting up your phone. It's so wrong.
Like I said, this is quite a healthy pizza. We did the vegetarian one, which was really delicious, meat lovers, and then a combination. My favourite would have definitely been the combination. just loved the taste of the cheese, I think mainly. It was really, really nice. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely think about giving these pizzas a try. I totally recommend them. They're easy to make and taste absolutely delicious, and you can really individualize it for everyone's tastes. Thanks for watching. Bye.